How is a giant press built? It starts with tons of steel, then careful machining. Next comes the solid hydraulic piston. Then a 4-meter beam is welded into the frame. The final result is a 2,000-ton hydraulic press. It is built inside a small Turkish workshop. No modern CNC line here. Most machines are old, but the shop earned its name through patience and skill. A hydraulic press has 3 systems: frame, power, and controls. The hardest parts to build are the frame and the hydraulic cylinder, so they start with the cylinder. First, they clamp a heavy tube into the lathe chuck. The cutting tool slowly forms the outside threads. Those threads lock the cylinder to the flange. The inside needs the same careful finish. In this shop, many hydraulic parts are custom-made one piece at a time. At first, the tube looks simple. Up close, the surface has a mirror finish. That finish is not just for appearance. It shows how precise the machining has to be under high pressure. Even a small flaw can become a problem. Next, they need to make the large locking nut. This thick hexagonal plate measures nearly 190 centimeters across. 4 blocks are welded on to hold it steady. Machining this single piece takes a full day. Everyone in the shop stays alert. In precision machining, the biggest fear is a wrong measurement. One mistake can ruin days of work. It can also damage the trust these craftsmen have built for years. 5 days later, the moment arrives. Now the tube and flange join. Together, these 2 iron parts weigh more than 5 tons. A worker sprays lubricant across the threads. Then they level it by hand. The left side turns, the right side is watched. The operator keeps his eyes locked on the threads. At first, he applies force carefully. Once the fit becomes smooth, he turns it much faster. Now the cylinder outside is complete. The shell itself does not move. It is the main cylinder. For this press, the danger is leakage. If oil pressure is lost, the machine becomes unsafe for the workers. So near the flange, 14 grooves are machined into the body. Some are wide, some are narrow, others are deeper. Every groove has one job: to seal pressure. Later, these grooves will face constant hydraulic force. Tube and flange are done. Now they machine the heavy cylinder cap. This is one of the thickest parts. At the center are 2 ports for hydraulic oil. One port sends oil in. The other allows oil to return. Together, they move the cylinder in and out. The shell and cap are ready. Now comes the key part. This is the solid piston rod. It transfers force into the press. To reach size, they remove 2 centimeters. There is no room for error. The final measurement has to be exact. With the parts shaped, assembly can begin. This is where experience matters most. The engineer fits. Oil seals into the grooves. He uses a mallet, lubricant, and steady hands. The lubricant is temporary. The seal does the work. When it fits, almost no gap remains. A 2,000-ton press needs many seals. As tonnage rises, the seals must work harder. Then the assembly stands upright, with tires as cushioning. The floor is unforgiving, so every move is controlled. Only an experienced master handles this step. He works the remote and watches the edges. He has done this many times before. The front cap moves into place, with less than 4 centimeters clear. Before final installation, one detail matters. First is the black ring, then the red oil seal. The black ring sits slightly high. The red seal sits nearly flush. They look similar, but each one has a different job. After inspection, they secure the outer cover. The workers stand opposite each other. To lower the cover evenly, the gap is tight. If one side drops first, it can bind. Compared with a person, this cylinder is enormous. Inside the machine, its scale disappears. Now, the frame of the press is fabricated. 3-centimeter plates are cut into sections after welding. The structure stands over 4 meters tall. 3 master craftsmen spend 5 days. on this frame. To withstand 2,000 tons, the joints need many weld passes. In some areas, one joint may take 10 passes. That reinforcement runs across the whole body. This kind of reinforcement belongs on heavy machinery. Then the outside is ground smooth for fit and finish. At the contact points, 0.5 millimeter is too much. Now the project reaches final assembly. The crane lifts from above. The forklift steadies it below. This installation takes at least 2 full days. The work is not fast, because every requirement is demanding. Even this bolt starts by hand. Only then can the air tool be used. Crossed threads can risk the frame. At this scale, carelessness has no place. Here are the motor, the pump, and the oil hoses. The nameplate shows power and oil requirements. In simple terms, the motor drives the pump. The pump turns motion into hydraulic force. High pressure oil enters the cylinder. That pressure moves the slide block with tremendous force. That is how a hydraulic press works. Smaller presses may differ, but this one is built for industrial power.